Hey guys, it's Ping here from the Whiskey Throttle Show, and we got a really special opportunity today to ride Yamaha's brand new Superjet. This is a 2021 model, not out yet. These things are almost impossible to find, a little bit unicorn status. But we got Dustin Matsouras, who has done a lot of development for these guys, former professional racer. He owns Commander now, which builds their own ski, but they also do a lot of development for Yamaha and help them out. So thank you so much for giving us a ride on this thing.
Yeah, thanks for having me out here. It's been a fun day. Good to have all you guys on the water.
So we're here in Mission Bay. He drove out from Arizona to meet us and kind of walked us through what they did to this, a lot of the development, what they were going after. As you know, Kawasaki has developed a 4-stroke stand-up ski. This is Yamaha's answer to it, but they wanted to kind of address some of the issues that made that boat less than appealing to some folks. A little bit, some people said it's a little bit big, a little bit heavy. So this, was meant to kind of address the 4-stroke deal, and kind of with CARB being so heavy in California air emissions or whatever the hell it is, it's making it very tough for anyone to produce 2-stroke engines. So tell us a little bit about the design and the development that went into this ski.
Yeah, so with Yamaha, their big focus was to have something that was playful, lightweight, but still have good power and obviously be a 4-stroke. So they used their 1050cc engine that's already in the EX model of sit-down wave runner, and obviously used that into what I guess is the new Superjet. Made a Superjet that's a little bit bigger than the previous model. It's got an adjustable handle pole, so it's got all like the cool race bits on it. But their main, brief with it was to keep something that was fun, lightweight, and with really good performance, and still had that spirit of like a regular Superjet that people have loved for the last 20 years. So, I mean, they pretty much nailed it. They got something that's super fun to ride without needing to go massive and heavy, and keep that fun factor.
And as you mentioned, this is an engine they've already developed, so it's got a lot of time behind it. It's not like something new. What are some of the other little things that you think make this better than Superjets of the past?
Yeah, definitely going 4-stroke is a massive advantage. So with going 4-stroke, you can go fuel injected. The reliability of the 4-stroke is amazing. You can go to altitude. The ECU will adjust to all those different factors and keep the power nice and sharp all the time. Besides that is obviously the bigger hull design, which is a benefit for sure for the first-time rider. Instead of jumping on a stand-up and trying to learn how to ride something that takes months to learn, you can jump on this and pretty much have a good grasp of it within 5 to 10 minutes and actually have a good time on it. So I think between getting the 4-stroke engine into this boat and the slightly bigger body, those are the two key factors, and it's made it a home run.
And there's also a learner mode on it. Dustin was explaining it to me. You just kind of hold down the kill switch, and it pops into an L mode, which takes it down to, you said, 70% at top speed?
Yeah, about 70% of the power delivery.
So it's still got the pickup off the bottom and accelerates, but just kind of brings the top speed down. So if you've got kids or your wife going out to learn, you don't want them to hit 50 miles an hour in the water and then tip off and skip across like a rock. So it's a nice option to help them learn and get comfortable with it. We brought a couple of folks out to help us ride this thing. Darren Ralves, who is the most decorated U.S. downhill skier this country's ever produced, was a professional jet ski racer prior to that. So he happened to be in town. I said, "Hey, come give me an expert's opinion on this thing." GL on the other end of the spectrum, pretty novice. He's a little Patrick Potato on a jet ski, and I'm like vet intermediate. So we kind of covered all our bases. We're gonna all have our turn on this thing, and we'll give you some feedback. All right, so we had all three of us spend some time on this ski today, and I come from a background of just riding the old Kawasaki jet ski stand-up models, the old hull design. I'm like vintage racing kind of guy, but I'll tell you, jumping on, my opinion, it's very, very user-friendly to anybody, right? So if you have a kid, a wife, an uncle who is not very coordinated, he can jump on this thing and still go out and do it. It is more user-friendly to get started. There's plenty of power. I mean, when you open this thing up, it's as fast as I wanted to go on the water. So there's plenty of motor. It turns easier. It's definitely a different type of hull design where it's weighted pretty heavily. So when you let off the throttle to turn, I used to have to lean forward and try to get that front end to bite in. You don't have to do that anymore. Just kind of weight on the back, and the thing steers a lot with the throttle and the handlebars. So it's a little bit different the way you ride it. But I felt it goes through the waves great, like no issues kind of getting through chop, where those older, skinnier ones would be a little more sketchy. And just a lot of damn fun to ride, to be really honest with you.
Yeah.
I would say the only downside I felt to it all day was a little bit of a hesitation if I was just kind of stabbing the throttle. And I'm sure that can be tuned up. A couple of things Dustin was saying guys are doing on these right away is different handlebars, different intake. I guess the intake is the grade is a pretty big difference. And the ride tray, I guess the standard one can be a little slick or whatever. So those are easy fixes, kind of the 3 things he recommends. Gio, let's start with you. What'd you think?
I think you said a lot of those things, which is, as you would imagine, with time they've improved the stability, making it a little bit more rider-friendly, a little more forgiving. But I think it's almost like what happened with motocross bikes when they went from 2-stroke to 4-stroke. It's like you said, you don't have to move your weight as much because it's almost like that engine braking sets it up for you a little bit. And then once you get the feel of how it comes in and out of the turns, it really pulls you out pretty good. Like you said, it definitely has maybe a tiny bit of lag and then it pulls. So I did feel like Patrick Potato getting a little whiskey throttle at times. But if you it's almost like anything. If you roll it on a little bit sooner, it pulls you out of the corner better. But no, a lot of fun. Definitely one you need to be in better shape if you want to get used to this and get enough time on it in one day. But on the flip side, we had a lot of fun out here, and I'm glad Yamaha came out with a 4-stroke. So like places like California, we have an opportunity to go and ride these. It's definitely lighter and more nimble than I was anticipating. So I thought that was pretty cool, and yeah, it's set up for someone from, I think, almost beginner level to an expert. So I think they kind of hit all spectrums on this one.
Yeah, and one thing that's great about that 4-stroke power, like you said, is there's kind of power everywhere.
Yeah.
It's got great torque out of the hole, and then it keeps pulling pretty far. All right, Darren, you were a pro ski racer, so you actually looked a hell of a lot better on this thing than we did at any point today. What were your
pro
thoughts?
snow ski racer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long time. My early impressions of a Superjet was really flat, turning machine compared to Kawasaki, which rolled up real nice in the corners, nice like arcing, sweeping turns. And I think this new Superjet is amazing like that. You can really, you don't have to drag a leg anymore. You can stay feet, planted in the tray. It's a really comfortable cockpit. I felt really good on it, but you can just keep your feet planted in there, and it just sticks in these turns real nice. I was really impressed with just how, like you said, user-friendly it was, and touching on like the power, it's got good torque.
Yeah.
It keeps pulling, and like you don't really need much more. Have a lot of fun, and you're holding on. And first time I got on it, it was just a matter of getting used to it, and then second time I was able to push a little more, and felt good on it. And it's just it's a super fun machine, and hopefully get some more days in the water.
Yeah, to me, I don't know, I'll get your opinion on this, but I didn't feel, GL said it felt lighter than he thought. I anticipated it being heavier, and then even when I heard the weight, I thought, man, it doesn't even feel that heavy.
Well, I think it just felt right. I mean, like you guys said, like you get some chop going, some little wakes, and it just blasted right through it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it didn't feel twitchy. I mean, you could hammer it, go full throttle, and get down low, and it felt good. But you have to be ready for it. I mean, you get in a turn, and it'll kick you out. It'll high side pretty easy. But the more time you spend on it, you kind of figure out where your body needs to be, And it was easier to ride the second time around.
I felt like my old bad habits. It's like if I only ever rode 2-stroke dirt bikes, and then I started riding a 4-stroke the same way. I was like too much weight up front, leaning too much. I got spit off one time. I think you and I both were in the running for like best ejection of the day.
I got a full cleansing. The eyeballs, the nose, the ears.
Gio got a colonic today. I got spit off. The boat rolled over the top of me upside down. And anyway, it wasn't my best moment. But this Superjet's pretty rad. If you are somebody who's into stand-up skis, maybe you got an old one like I do, and you're looking to upgrade. They're going to be tough to get. I believe that a lot of them are sold out already for 2021, but keep an eye out at your local Yamaha dealers. When they get them, maybe you can get a peek before the owner comes and picks it up, and maybe 2022, you can get on a list to get one of these things. So big thank you to Dustin and the crew here at Commander for bringing this out,
Thanks, boys.
giving us a chance. Watching those guys ride is like a whole other level.
Next level.
It's sad.
Yeah,
Depressing.
it's like watching,
What do you always say, the monkey humping the football? That was us.
that was us, monkeys humping football. Yeah, well, D was a little bit better. Anyway, thank you guys. Stay tuned. We got some great shows coming this fall. We're going to be kind of debuting more Yamaha products as we keep going. So check out all of their new Superjet lineup. We'll see you at the next show.